What's going on, Dave?
Hey, Dan, and viewers.
So where are we headed?
We're heading to the Union Transfer in Philadelphia, and tonight we're going to see Bombay Bicycle Club, and they've actually let us come before the show for an exclusive interview. So yeah, we're on the way for that. Should be cool. Got the skyline over there on 95 right now, en route.
What's up, guys? I'm Daniel Cologne from Westchester University radio station 91.7 WCR The Curve. I'm here with Jamie from Bombay Bicycle Club. How you doing?
Very well.
He's here at the Union Transfer Center in Philadelphia. We're going to ask him a quick couple questions before he goes on. So you guys formed in 2005, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
You guys were still in secondary education, which is high school, which is crazy because I graduated from high school that year. You guys are from Crouch End, London. Just tell us, what was your inspiration at such a young age to just become a band?
I don't know. I don't think we ever even really made like a conscious decision to form a band. Like we're the only musicians in class when we were 15, and well, I could barely play guitar, but and our teacher asked us to like play a song in the school assembly, basically. So we did a couple of covers, and we did our first original Bombay Bicycle Club song, which was pretty terrible.
When did you guys know that you guys were going to make it? Was it after Evening and Morning, or was it later on?
So that was our first single.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever really thought. Probably not until after we left school, to be honest. And maybe when the first album came out. I think there's a big thing with like indie bands, and maybe British indie bands in particular, having like an inferiority complex and always expecting the worst to happen. Or maybe that's just us. It was probably when we did the NME tour in the UK, which was about 6 months after the first album came out, that I was like, let's make gold records.
2 years after you guys formed, NME said that you guys were the best band to come out of North London in such a long time. How does that, at such a young age, affect how you guys perform and how you guys get inspired? Like, did it change anything, or was it just very flattering to get that at such a young...
I don't know, the NME is always coming out with like over-the-top statements about new bands, so... I don't know, yeah, we had our heads switched on, I think, and I think we took quite a long time making the first album. Like, we first started getting attention when we were sort of 16. We had another 2 years of school left, and we knew that we wanted to finish that, and most of the best songs on the first album were written when we left school, so it was probably worthwhile.
So these guys graduated from high school while doing a band, so they're obviously smart. He actually has a MacBook, so that tells you how smart they are. What was your inspiration behind this last album? Because it's different from the first two albums. They're really folk. It has a lot of acoustic. What was the inspiration behind this one?
Well, the main thing was this album. There wasn't like particular musical inspirations really, in the way that there were with the first two. Because the first album was like a kind of pretty not standard, but like straightforward indie rock album. The second one was the acoustic kind of folk album, and then this one is kind of takes elements from both, but then it's quite electronic almost as well, and quite dancey in a way that the first two weren't really. And we'd been listening to quite a lot of electronic music and a lot of hip hop, and we were never going to make like a big dance record or like a hip hop album, but we were just interested in the way that kind of music is made, like particularly hip hop, how a lot of it's from samples, and everything's very looped, and like we started bringing those kind of elements into our music. Like a lot of the songs on this album, as opposed to having like a sort of verse chorus kind of normal song structure, like they kind of I don't know how to describe it, like the chords and the music don't change. It's like dance music where you have like peaks and troughs and like elements coming in and out, and like having breaks and like having those euphoric highs at the end.
The Lights Out, Words Gone, me and Dave were talking about.
Yeah, that's the song that probably sums that up best.
And it's so chill, but then we were always like, who's that girl in the background? And he's like, maybe we shouldn't say it because it might be one of their girlfriends or somebody. It's like, it could be their mom. But
no, it's not. It's just a girl called Lucy who's on tour with us as well.
Oh, there you go. 2010. I mean, you guys have had success at such a short period of time. I mean, you guys were named the best new band. You beat, XX, the Big Pink, LaRue, Mumford and Sons. Was that another like pivotal point for you guys, or just another enemy like over exaggeration?
No, that was nice. It was, yeah, we didn't really expect it. So particularly because that was the point where like Mumford and Sons and like the XX were sort of bloody huge, really. So it was quite flattering, and it was a fan voted thing.
Right.
So that was gratifying, I guess. At the awards, like, we weren't expecting to win, so we just got really drunk beforehand, and then went on stage and made a really bad speech with like I was holding a bottle of tequila, I think.
I'm gonna look for it if it's on YouTube.
There's some really bad like interviews afterwards on like the red carpet, particularly from me, where someone asked me what I was going to do with the award, and I said I was going to shove it up my arse.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was not one of my best moments on camera.
Well, how about the production behind this album? What was it? What's the difference between the last two? And did you get involved with it at all in more detail, or any difference from like previous ones?
Well, all our songs, like the demos, always start with some kind of Jack in his bedroom. At this time around, we were kind of taking more stuff that he'd just done in his bedroom at the start. Like a lot of the interesting sounds or whatever that you hear on the album are just him. And then we worked with two different producers, and one, Jim Abyss, he did the first album, and he kind of does maybe the more kind of like guitar-y songs on the album. And then the second producer was a guy called Ben Allen, who's an American, and he's done quite a lot of cool kind of electronic music, like Animal Collective, and what's he done recently, like Deer Hunter, Niles Barkley. And we kind of wanted to work with someone new and someone that had done a lot of electronic music. So
what would you say is like future projects? Do you have guys like anything you see in the future you guys would like to do as far as
like what people we'd like to work with? Or,
yeah.
I don't know, we haven't really done any collaborations, apart from Lucy, who sings on a lot of the album.
Mm-hmm.
And we've worked with a few female singers before. I think that's something we like doing. It just brings like a nice element, I think. I'd really like to do a song with Bon Iver, but a lot of people have done that now, so it's kind of like
that'll be sick.
It's losing its lustre. Or I'd like him to try and produce an album. I think he'd be a really cool producer, because he produced that last. Well, he produced both his albums, but I think the last one in particular sounds amazing.
Is there?
It happen.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Is there a certain moment during your career with your band that unforgettable, or would you say would be the best moment so far?
Yeah, they normally relate to like gigs. Sorry.
Okay.
We're very lucky in the UK to have like so many festivals to do, and so many big festivals. I think the first time we ever played Reading, the Leeds Festival, that was a really big moment. And yeah, that was one of the moments where I thought like this could be a serious thing, and like people actually listen to us.
And when you guys first started out, I believe you guys won a competition, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
the first kind of big break we had was winning it was kind of like a reality TV show, I guess, in a sense, to open the V Festival in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we did that when we were about 16. And we probably shouldn't have won.
Was there another bad speech, or?
No, we just didn't really have a clue what we were doing really at that point.
Really?
And we kind of, at that time, we kind of just treated it all with a bit of fun, and as we do now as well, it's good to kind of keep that element, I think, and that it should always be fun. But I mean, we were sort of running around backstage at the festival, like harassing famous people, and Seren, Girls Aloud, and like Seren tried to get into their dressing room as they were changing.
Oh man!
And was escorted out.
Oh man, best interview ever.
Yeah.
Was there ever a point during this time span, which was really short, that might have been a breaking point that you guys were able to overcome, or?
I remember the summer after we left school, we went on this like month-long tour, and all our friends were like off, like on doing stuff, and we were like playing to like 10 people in small towns in the middle of nowhere in England, and I think we're all thinking like, God, is this what it's going to be like? Yeah, just that, it was probably the period in between leaving school and getting our first album out, which was a bit of a struggle, but we're here now, so we got through it. And to be honest, the thing most people talk about breaking bands is like going to America and doing those, and they're all kind of doing these like 2-month long tours, and this is the last gig and we've got through it okay, I think. Although it's still one night, so we could still kill each other, I guess.
To follow you guys on Twitter or Facebook?
Yeah, we have a really large Twitter following for the size of band we are, actually. I don't know why. And it's Twitter/Bombay Bicycle, no club. And then the Facebook's just Bombay Bicycle Club.
Thanks again. Really, really appreciate it.
Sorry,
we're done.
coming.
We're done.
Yeah.